Hermvids with Mr. Herman. Educational videos about reading and writing. Herman the Clown's advice for you today? Don't reveal everything. Skill 7 of our Storytellers unit is not revealing everything. This is a strategy to use when writing your fiction stories, which will help add suspense and mystery to your tales, and also to write in a way that kind of pulls your reader along with your narrative. It's a technique for making a story more compelling. The idea is you're going to hold off revealing all information to the audience. This way, a sense of mystery or surprise is more easily achieved, just like Thor popping up from underneath his cape. There are a few different ways to do this, and I'm going to give you a few tips. Number 1, there's something called a slow reveal for your character. We kind of talked about this with characterization. But the idea is you don't reveal everything about the main character from the get-go. You give the reader a little bit of information so that they can reveal something about their past later in the story. Maybe they can reveal something about their personality type or what their motivations are later in the story. You can reveal things at later points, and it makes things more compelling. It'll give your reader something unexpected to deal with and complicate your character. That's what you want, is complicated, round characters. An example is Walter White in Breaking Bad, and that's him throwing a pizza on the top of his roof. He starts off as a mild-mannered chemistry teacher who's then diagnosed with lung cancer, and he slowly morphs, and more is revealed about his sociopathic behavior, and he becomes a drug kingpin, if you've ever seen the show before. Another way to not reveal everything to your reader is to increase drama with surprise. Surprise and suspense can be good for a story. If a reader can figure out where a story is going, they may give up on it. If it's a mystery and they figure it out early, they might just kind of toss it to the side. If they've seen it all before, if it's a cliche that you're using, they may just totally ignore your story. So a great way to think of this is to think of what's the most surprising thing that could happen at that moment. What is the thing that would even surprise you as the author? That if you threw this in here, this curveball, it would totally make your character move in a different direction. It might change the dynamic of the entire story. It's a way to spice things up, so to speak. This is a great way to add some surprise to your story. Think of The Sixth Sense, if you've ever seen that. That's the clip down there with the I See Dead People from Haley Joel Osment. That drops a killer twist at the end that makes you re-examine the entire narrative, and it recontextualizes all the characters. That's what you want to shoot for if you're going for that type of story. That's where the twist ending comes into play. You can be a total surprise, and it can leave the reader reeling at the end. That means that they have to deal with the consequences. If you want to be kind, you can leave little hints along the way as to what the twist is going to be, or you could just hit them with the surprise like a ton of bricks at the end. The ending of Planet of the Apes, The Empire Strikes Back in the Star Wars series, where Luke deals with the realization that Darth Vader is in fact his father, and Mark Hamill overacts by screaming no. There's also the slow drip, where you know what your surprise is and you slowly release information until the surprise arrives. I recommend the book The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which is a great book for this. It's a mystery, but it's more about mystery of character, where the slow drip reveals something about the main character's backstory until you find out the whole story, and it's really an entertaining read because of that. Another great way to do this is ending without a neat resolution. You don't spell everything out for the audience. You let them make up their own mind as to how things end. You don't have to end with a big surprise. You could hold off on how the story resolves by ending it earlier. So you could end it right in the middle of a climactic scene. It can leave the reader, up to the reader to figure it out. It's another way of not spelling everything out, and it trusts the audience to kind of figure out how it ended. The Sopranos is a really popular TV show, and it ends with the main character, Tony Soprano, looking sort of off into the camera, and then it just totally fades to black as Journey's Don't Stop Believing is playing. It's a way to totally circumvent the audience expectations, and it really adds a great element of surprise, and it makes your readers invent their own ending, and it can be a great way to not really spell everything out in a literal sense. Here's your practice assignment for Skill 7, Not Revealing Everything. You're going to practice twist endings, and you're going to complete this with a partner. So one partner will write the first part of a mini-story. Right before they get to the conclusion, they're going to give it to their partner, and their partner is going to end with a twist ending. So you're going to write on your partner's paper the first part of the story here, and you're going to lead it up to an ending. Then partner 2 will develop a twist ending, which aims to be as surprising and shocking as possible while still staying within the realm of possibility.